Today, in the media conference with Lal Goel, which is brought to you by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News गांव से, संवाद सरोकार न्यूज, Caru News, Bharat Post News, Organ Donation India Foundation and Gyan. Our endeavor is to enlighten you with the current topic. But today the topic is very, very different. And that because we are starting a new thing from today, and whenever we will have such type of occasion, we are going to highlight the festivals of India, those which are festivals celebrated around the India, different parts of India with full devotion. And today our first in this series is the Pongala, the festival of women. But before I will go on the main topic, I would like to inform you that today India is celebrating, rather observing National Epilepsy Day. Every year, November 17 marks the National Epilepsy Day. It is celebrated with an aim to generate awareness among people about epilepsy, its symptoms, diagnosis and treatment options. This nationwide campaign was started by the Epilepsy Foundation of India to reduce the prevalence of the disease in the country. Epilepsy is a neurological condition that is characterized by signs and symptoms like seizures, temporary confusion, a staring spell, loss of awareness, fear, anxiety, etc. Affecting people of any age, gender, or geographical belonging, epilepsy has no identified cause, but doctors believe that certain factors, including the genetic influence, head trauma, prenatal injury, autism, etc., can potentially contribute to the onset of the condition. According to the survey of the World Health Organization, WHO, currently approximately 50 million people are suffering from epilepsy around the world, and 80% of the people among them belong to the developing countries. So it is significant to make people aware of the condition and reduce the number of affected people. If not treated or managed on time, epilepsy can lead to complications like drowning, depression, suicidal thoughts, frequent episodes of a seizure lasting more than 5 minutes, and even death. Media conference with Lal Goel hopes that by observing this Epilepsy Day, more and more awareness can be created to save lives. Today, the world is observing World Chronic Obstructive Pulmonary Disease Day, or World COPD Day. The 2021 theme for World COPD Day will be Healthy Lungs, Never More Important, and takes place on November 17. This year's aim is to highlight that the burden of COPD remains in spite of the ongoing global COVID pandemic. Even in light of COVID, COPD remains a leading cause of death worldwide. There is never a more important time to focus on lung health. Keeping your lungs healthy can include avoiding cigarettes, air pollution, or occupational exposures, as well as staying active either through regular physical activity or pulmonary rehab. In addition, receiving important vaccines, keeping medical appointments, and taking medications correctly can help keep your lungs healthy. Media conference with Lal Goel hopes that by observing this day, more awareness will be created so that many lives can be saved. Now coming to our main topic, Pongala, the festival of women. Pongala is a harvest festival of Kerala in Tamil Nadu. The name Pongala means to boil over and refers to the ritualistic offering of porridge made of rice, sweet brown molasses, coconut gratings, nuts and raisins. Generally, women devotees participate in this ritual. Tamil people celebrate as Pongal. The origins of Pongala festival may date to more than 1,000 years ago. Epigraphic evidence suggests the celebration of the Uthiyudu during the medieval Chola Empire days. Uthiyudu is believed to represent the first harvest of the year. Rice, coconut and jaggery are bought by women devotees along with round earthen pots for cooking. Women participating in the Pongala set up makeshift stoves using bricks and firewood along the roads, bylanes, footpaths and shop fronts in a radius of several kilometers around the temple. They squat next to their stoves to cook the mixture of rice, jaggery and coconut in earthen pots that is offered to the goddess seeking divine blessings. The chief priest of the temple lights the main hearth from the divine fire inside their sanctum sanctorum. This fire is passed on from one stove to the next. During ancient times, the entire population from the nearby villages converge on this hill and they stay there during the entire festivities lasting the several days. During this time, social cooking used to take place by the women, which was considered to be holy and liked by the goddess. Such social cooking naturally strengthened the bonds between these villages. This custom is still continued in the form of Pongala offering. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 is a Hindu temple dedicated to goddess Durga. The temple is located near Tiruvalla in Nirathupuram, Talawadi Panchayat, Lal Puja district in Kerala and is one of the most popular temples in the state. Goddess Durga is one of the most popular deities in the area. Pilgrims from all over South India visit and worship the Devi. The temple was less known even to the local residents and lay as a family temple of a local resident. This remained until it was renovated a few decades before. Located on the banks of the holy Pampa river, this temple has attracted pilgrims all over Kerala and became one of the most popular pilgrim centers of the state. The major festival is Pongala, which takes place in the temple during the month of Vrischikam, that is November or December. This is the time when the glory of the goddess is at its peak. Lakhs of women devotees gather around the temple as early as even 1 week before the function. The temple premises will be overcrowded and the devotees arrange places for offering the Pongala on both sides of the main street. The queue usually extends to a surprising length of 20 kilometers. Rice, coconut and jaggery are bought by women devotees along with round earthen pots for cooking. The chief priest lights the main hearth from the divine fire inside the sanctum sanctorum. This fire is exchanged from the one oven to another. And to discuss about this very, very holy and very important festival of Kerala, and rather I will say that, and now the all over India, we have a very elite, very knowledgeable, those who are directly associated with this festival. Panelists are with us. And before I will go to the main, to invite the panelists, I would like to share some visuals which will give some idea about the Pongala, the temple and the rituals.
എന്നീയൊരു സന്തതിയായി സ്വീകരിച്ച് രക്ഷിച്ച് അനുഗ്രഹിക്കണമേ. സ്നേഹനിധിയായ അമ്മേ, എന്നീയൊരു സന്തതിയായി സ്വീകരിച്ച് രക്ഷിച്ച് അനുഗ്രഹിക്കണമേ. അമ്മേ ശരണം, സത്വപിതാവിൽ അമ്മേ ശരണം, മഹാഭഗവതിയെ ശരണം, സന്താന സൗഭാഗ്യം തരണേ പൊന്നുദേവിയെ ശരണം, സന്താനങ്ങൾക്ക് മംഗല്യഭാഗ്യം തരണേ പൊന്നുദേവിയെ ശരണം, ഭഗവതിയെ ശരണം, ചക്കുളത്തമ്മേ ശരണം, മഹാഭഗവതിയെ ശരണം, പൊന്നുദേവിയെ ശരണം, ദാരിദ്ര്യദുഃഖം തീർന്ന് രക്ഷിക്കണേ ഭഗവതിയെ ശരണം, ചക്കുളത്തമ്മേ ശരണം, ഭഗവതിയെ ശരണം, മണിപ്പുറത്തമ്മേ ശരണം, ചക്കുളത്തമ്മേ ശരണം.
മുജ്ജന്മ കർമ്മത്തിന് പുണ്യമാകാൻ ഈ ചക്കുളത്തുകാവിൽ ശ്രീവന ദുർഗാദേവി 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 ഓ എണ്ണിയ ഈ ചക്കുളത്തുകാവിൽ ശ്രീവന ദുർഗാദേവി 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 ഓ എണ്ണിയാൽ
So you have seen those some few pictures or even the videos about the Pongala celebrations which were shot the last year, because now this thing is going to take place on the 19th of this month. Now I would like to invite my first panelist guest. He is Dr. C.V. Anand Bose IAS. Dr. C.V. Anand Bose IAS is one-man expert commission on labor to prepare an action plan for the welfare and development of the workforce in the context of COVID-19. He is also the principal advisor, National Heritage Project. He was former head of Disaster Management, Government of India, and Central Draft Relief Commissioner, Government of India. He was the Vice Chancellor of National Museum, University of Delhi. To his credit, 300 publications, including 45 books in English, Malayalam, and Hindi novels, short stories, and essays. 4 of his books have become bestsellers. One book of his on housing received prestigious the Sharjah International Book Fair Award. Dr. Bose is an housing expert, innovator, writer, orator, and visionary. The path-breaking institutions set up by him, such as Nari Puja Building Center, District Tourism Council, and Habitat Alliance, have been replicated at the state, national, and global level. He was the head of the prestigious Supreme Court Committee on the Treasures of Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple. Dr. Bose had a divine mission of some sound is coming. I will just mute. Some sound is coming. Judge, I will just mute that sound. Yeah, sorry. Dr. Bose has a divine mission of coordinating the design and construction of the sanctum of 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒, where this program or this function is going to held on 19th. Rather, it is going on, but the 19th is the main program. Dr. Bose addressed United Nations General Assembly and specialized sessions 5 times on various international issues. Dr. Bose is a recipient of 31 national and international awards, including United Nations Global Best Practice Award. He also received prestigious Jawaharlal Nehru Fellowship. Kerala government termed him Lord of Ideas. Former Prime Minister Mr. Manmohan Singh called him inspired civil servant, and our Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi called him man of ideas. Welcome, Dr. C.V. Anand Bose on our show. Dr. Bose, you are associated with this festival very closely because you coordinated design and the construction of the sanctorum of the temple. Now, we would definitely like to know from you your views on the Pongala, the festival of women. Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, please.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. The famous Pongala festival of the renowned 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 temple has today received the attention not only within India but on a global level. Pongala, as you have rightly pointed out, literally means boiling over. Lakhs and lakhs of women devotees. They come near the temple and prepare with their own hand on improvised stoves made of brick the offering to the goddess. This offering is prepared with jaggery, rice, and other ingredients, including ground coconut. This is made by each of the women devotees, irrespective of their stature in society. We see the High Court judges, the collectors, the SPs, the teachers, the professors, doctors, people from all walks of life. They come together and make this as their offering to their dear goddess. As you know, the ceremony starts with the lighting of the lamp, sacred lamp in the sanctum sanctorum, which is used to ignite a temporary hearth which is made for the purpose. From this hearth, this divine light is passed on from hearth to hearth, from temporary stove to stove, and millions of such hearths are lighted. Then the preparation starts. This is a festival which is emerging as the world's leading festival of women, even at a global and international level. You will be surprised to see, as they say, all roads lead to Rome. On the Pongala day, all roads lead to the 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 Bhagavati temple. On the side of the streets, the lanes and bylanes, you will see the disciplined queue of women folk sitting and preparing with devotion this divine offering to the goddess 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔. Now, there is a legend behind it. You are rightly pointed out that the Pongala festival tradition started thousands of years ago. As far as this temple is considered, the temple specific legend is that, there was once a dense forest in this area, the Nirachapuram forest. A hunter, he went for hunting in the forest. He encountered a snake, a serpent. He attacked the snake, bruised it, wounded it, and bleeding and wounded. The snake tried to escape, but the hunter chased it. The snake was seen coiling around a snake pit inside the forest. The hunter again attacked it. To his consternation and dismay, the snake disappeared. Water started sprouting from the pit, and lo and behold, there emerges sage Narada, who tells the hunter, the idol of the Devi is here. It is Durga. The idol of Mana Durga is here. Take it, place it, worship it. Take it, install it, worship it. He did so. His wife also joined him. Every day with a devotion, the hunter couple used to prepare the offering for the goddess. One day, they found they couldn't do that. To their surprise, they found the offering was made by the goddess herself. From that day onwards, in commemoration of this wonderful feat, the Pongala is being celebrated. That is legend number 1. There is a more current or recent legend or fact. In 1981, the head priest of the temple found that the divine lamps inside the sanctum sanctorum were lit by themselves. The goddess was decorated in full. This is done by the goddess herself. Astrologers predicted that this is a day of Kartika. Kartika is nearest to the goddess. From that very moment onwards, the tradition of Pongala began. Whatever be the romantic or the classic legend behind it, there is a mystery behind it. There is a divine sanction behind it. And Pongala happens to be the biggest festival of women. There is a tradition in this particular temple. This is a temple which is mostly dedicated to women. There is a puja there, which reminds us of the ancient traditions of the Vedic period. As we know, the Vedas extol women. Yatra naryastu pujyante, ramante tatra devada. Where women are honored, there the gods rejoice. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 is an epitome of this dominance of women, respect of women, honoring women. There is a puja there, Nari Puja, worshipping the women. In this temple, women are worshipped not just once, women are worshipped forever. That is why this temple has got the nickname Sabarimala of women. As all of you know, Sabarimala is a great temple on the banks of the river Pamba. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 also happens to be on the banks of the river Pamba. And similarly, the Aranmana temple is there. Pamba, the sacred river, connects 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 with Sabarimala. This temple is known as the Sabarimala of women. Because in Sabarimala, as we know, there are restrictions for entry of women in certain age group, not all women. But here, in 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔, this has emerged as the Sabarimala of women. There are a lot of legends associated with this. Though the Pongala starts with lighting the lamp and preparing the offering to the goddess, it ends with lighting the Kartika Stambha. The Kartika Stambha is a 50-60 feet pole in which all the sacred clothes worn by the goddess in that 1 year is there. Incendiaries are there like camphor and other incendiaries like ghee. This is lighted. Once the Kartika Stambha is lighted, it is believed that all the sins of the world will get consumed in the fire. And people get a new lease of life. To lead a life sans sin. What a great idea. All your sins are consumed in the fire and you get a new lease of life. Women come here to get this inner strength known to them. As the goddess says, the goddess Mana Durga is a representative of inner strength. As you know, there is a legend behind it. In Kailasa, the Raktasura, the demon Raktasura comes and challenges. He challenges Lord Shiva. He insults Parvati. He even insults her womanhood. Parvati finds that is critical juncture of humiliation. How came that her all-potent husband, her consort, Shiva, is not reacting? She couldn't understand that. When your womanhood is questioned and somebody is right in front of you, humiliating you, calling your womanhood in question, how came that all-powerful husband, Shiva, is not responding? Suddenly she realized there is an inner strength within her. Parvati realizes a Kali within her. Kali comes out, the ferocious Kali, whom nobody can encounter. Kali strikes at Raktasura. With each strike, blood flows on the ground. With each drop of blood, another Raktasura is born. The goddess is perplexed, but she realizes the purport of this. She starts drinking his blood. That is Rakta Kali. Then there was no end to it. Raktasura is vanquished. But the ferocity of the inner strength of woman is now out. Who can control her? Who can tame her? The Divine Mother in the form of Kali. Finally, it came to a stage where everyone thought even the entire world will be destroyed in your fury. Lord Shiva prostrated before her. With a feminine insight, Devi realizes that it is one's own consort in front of her. She should not tread her foot on him. That realization made her calm. Slowly, slowly, the ferocious form of Rakta Kali slowly comes back to the benign form. It is this Saumya Bhava which is there in the Vanadurga, that is there in Chakratagav. The message which Pongala gives is, to all the women, there is a Kali in all of you. There is tremendous strength in all of you. Women can stand on their own. The modern concept of women's empowerment is embodied in this festival of Pongala. I think there is more to it than meets the eye. Pongala is not just a religious festival confined to a temple. Pongala is a reflection of the universal truth that women have tremendous strength in them. Release it. Take out the inner strength. Then you will see that what the Vedas said is great. Yatra naryasta pujyante, ramante, tatra devata. I see in Pongala and Chakratagav the manifestation of this great Vedic tradition. That is the significance of Pongala. That is a great message the Chakratagav Pongala gives not only to the devotees from there, but also to the entire humanity. That is underlining the concept of women's empowerment. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sivian Bose, for giving the details about the Pongala festival and how this temple was built and all the details, the rituals, etc. But one thing which I would just like to highlight that Dr. Sivian Bose said that this festival is for the women, and this festival is to empowerment of the women, because according to Dr. Sivian Bose, that all the women have those strengths, and this festival shows that those strengths which women are having can be shown to the public at large only if they realize their own power. And that is why, according to him, this festival is there and dedicated to the women, and lakhs and lakhs of women are coming and celebrating this festival all together. And he also mentioned that this is the Sabrimala for the women, because both the Sabrimala as temple as well as this temple are situated on the banks of river Pampa. So he says, because in Sabrimala there is some restriction for the women of certain age, those who cannot go, but here everyone is going and doing with a very, very devotion, cooking the food themselves and offering to the goddess. So according to Dr. Sivian Bose, now this Pongala is not limited to Kerala or to India. Now it's a global, famous, and people or across the world are now celebrating Pongala with full devotion. Thank you very much, Dr. Sivian Bose, for giving such a detailed thing about the Pongala, and I'm sure our viewers who are watching and who are not aware about the Pongala has getting quite enlightened today because of this, the way Dr. Bose has explained. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and he is Dr. Ramesh Elman Nambudri. Dr. Ramesh Nambudri is the chairman of Bharat Sevak Samaj, BSS Kerala. He is the vice chairman, 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 Charitable Trust. He conducts cultural and spiritual discourses in many parts of India and abroad. He gives leadership to the spiritual activities of the temple, including the main prayer in the Pongala festival. He actively participates in the literary and aesthetic activities all around. He has penned more than 300 devotional songs through albums. He has been doing live broadcasts of Sabrimala, Makra Vilaku, Mukambika Navratri, Trisur Puram, Chakkula Tukavu, and Atukal Pongala, etc. for the last 8 years through the Karevi TV. An ardent seeker of Indian philosophy and spirituality with special stress on the Gita, Upanishads, Ramayana, Devi Bhagavata, and the like. Welcome, Dr. Ramesh Nambudri, on our show. Dr. Ramesh, you have heard what Dr. C.V. Anand Bose has spoken, and you are very closely associated with this temple where this Pongala festival is celebrated. And you are performing the pujas, you are giving the discourses, etc. Definitely, you are the right person to speak about the Pongala, about the temple, and about the rituals which are followed there. So, Pongala, the festival of women, Mr. Dr. Ramesh Nambudri, please.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. Happy good morning to all. So, see, Carunews, as Mr. Anand Bose already said, is a notable center of spirituality to which thousands of pilgrims move in search of blessings, peace, and tranquility. It's situated near the Manimala River, and the temple, as you can experience, has an air of serenity, tranquility, and a meditative touch all around. In fact, the temple is cradling the minds of the seekers with and giving answers to the questions still unanswered. Mr. Radhakrishnan Nambudiri is the chief priest of the temple. Mr. Manikrishnan Nambudiri is the chief administrator. Unnikrishnan Nambudiri and Renjit Nambudiri are the pujas. A speciality of the temple is that it has no discrimination of caste, creed, or color. Anybody can go and visit the goddess. The goddess here is Durga, or rather Nana Durga. Nana means wet. So the sanctum sanctorum has a small opening in the top. During the rain time, raindrops fall upon the idol. During the hot summer, the yellow rays of the sun bathe the idol. So that is why it is also termed as Nana Durga. The goddess is sitting there with the Abhaya Mudra and the Varada Mudra, clad in red apparel, her eyes constantly gazing upon the devotees with extreme kindness and love. Lila Sahasranamam tells you, Om Karuna Rasa Sagaraye Nama. Om Karuna Rasa Sagaraye Nama. Meaning, goddess with a compassion as was the ocean, with oceanic compassion reflecting to the eyes of the goddess. Anybody who visits the goddess can be a witness to it. And he could truly translate this experience into an anecdote. Dr. Anand Bose deeply went into the legend of the history of the temple, the hunter going to the forest. With an axe in his hand, cutting the serpent, the sand shell is broken, water comes, Narada comes and gets out of the beautiful light. Let me spare a 2 minutes for the philosophical, symbolic meanings of this story. See, all the stories of any temple or Purana are only outer shells. As Sri Ramasdeva tells, they are ladders to reach the terrace. And once you reach the terrace, the ladder is not there. So, see, the hunter is symbolic of all the people in this world, including myself. The hunter is going to a forest. Human mind is, in the primary level, the human mind is in the state of hunter, mixed with, conglomerated with positive and negative elements. Sattva Rajas Tama iti guna prakriti sambhava. Nibatnande mahabaho dehe dehinam avyayam, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna in the Gita. Sattvic, Rajasa and Tamasa elements are mixed in the personality of a person. So the hunter is symbolic of the primary state of human mind. He has an axe in his hand. Axe is symbolic of illusion or maya. See, we are in a mad, frantic, restless pursuit after the material objects of this world. And we have the axe called illusion in our hand. Serpent stands for the truth. Every day we are trying to cut the serpent with an axe. You run after a material object, there the serpent is there and the axe is there. And the hunter also is there. And finally, the shell is broken. What exactly is the final shell? It is the shell of ignorance which covers human mind. You have to break the shell if you want to have realization. If you have to shatter the shell if you want to have self-knowledge. And how can you shatter? There comes the role of the teacher. See, na didiyosti shatru ajnana tulya. In Sanskrit it is said, na didiyosti shatru ajnana tulya. There is no second foe or enemy like ignorance. And if you want to break this ignorance, you need a teacher. So Narada stands symbolic of the great acharya or teacher who helps the seeker to realize it. So Narada comes and takes out the goddess, and the hunter and the family comes to realize the God. The hunter is now in a supreme level of realization, and the wavelength of his mind has gone up. So the story is advising to be in search of spirituality, to have enduring and earnest attempts to break the shell of ignorance that covers your mind, and to know yourself, and to know that you are not merely the body, but you have to transcend the body and reach the self. So that is the symbolic philosophy, Vedic interpretation behind the story. And you see, another important function that the temple has is First Friday, which is done in every Malayalam month. Number of devotees, thousands of devotees gather in the First Friday month. We will have the main prayer, and God has given me the blessing and fortune to lead the prayer. And thousands of devotees will be echoing this prayer. Actually, this main prayer is an essence of philosophy and knowledge. For example, see, I will give you one or two English translations of the prayer. O Goddess, be gracious to lend ears to my prayer. We know that there is nothing in this universe devoid of you. Protect our children. Allow me not to entertain bad thoughts or deeds which are harmful to others. And next is a very important simple sentence. Let not even the leaf of my tree be dangerous to anybody. Let not the leaf of my tree be dangerous to anybody. We have no time to explain it in detail. I will just give a hint. The tree here represents the human body. So when you pray, let not even the leaf of my tree be dangerous to others, it means Shariram Kalu Karma Sadhanam. As Sanskrit says, your body is an instrument, a tool, an utensil, which is to be used for the welfare. Then the prayer ends, O Goddess, I submit my life totally upon your lotus feet. Even in my next verse, if I have any, O Goddess, let my prayers and thoughts be unto you. So that is the Friday festival. And another important, and discourses will be made in the Friday festival, and I will be spending 1 hour for the talk, and others will be talking. And then you have a very important ritual, which has a touch of social revolution. What I mean is, this devotees will touch the divine sword of the goddess and take a pledge. Those people who are addicted to liquors and intoxications will come. They cannot control the use of drugs. So they will come here. They will touch the sword of the goddess, and they will chant a prayer. They will declare that they will no more touch any iota or drop of liquor. So this is a pledge against the using intoxicants. So what I understand is, this is a social revolution, or this is a new novel finding as to how spirituality can be tuned to the welfare of humanity and society. Mixing spirituality with our everyday life, isolating the evils of everyday existence, and transforming all these into positive side. So in this sense, this ritual is the metamorphosis. A happy, positive, optimistic metamorphosis. And 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 in this sense is striving to better human life and society. See, the Pongala is a very large festival. As we saw in the visuals and as Dr. Anandabose very brightly explained, lakhs of women come in the earthen pots. They boil rice with plankton, spices and other things. Pongala is a symbol of total submission to God. In Gita it is said, Yedu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya mattara ananyevena yogena mam dhyayanta upasa yashamaham samuttarata murti samsara sagara bhavamina chiralpatha maya vesida jalasam. Arjuna, you submit totally to me. Give your intelligence and your mind to me, the dual factor. Give them to me, says Krishna. That is what you find in the Pongala. And one word about the earthen pot. See, again, philosophy, the Vedas. The earthen pot is symbolic of the human body. You are putting rice and all these things and cooking. It becomes sweet, beautiful smell, fragrance comes out of it. So, actually, the women are praying, oh God, let our life be as sweet and fragrant as we here submit ourselves totally unto you. And I remember the beautiful words of Aurobindo. Aurobindo once said, it is good to be God's servant, but it is better to be God's slave. It is good to be God's servant, but it is better to be God's slave. Meaning, servant has his own limitations, freedom and other. But a slave has no freedom in front of the master. You have to be a slave rather than a servant in front of the goddess. If devotion has to reach a full circle. Pongala, I feel, is a best example of this total submission upon the God. And see, there are special pujas for the serpents there, and another speciality is Abhisheka. The devotees themselves can come and take holy water and pour upon a separate idol outside the temple. They can pour this water themselves, and that is called Abhisheka. And then the afternoon Deepadharana, exactly at 1 o'clock, on the Pongala day only, there will be a special puja, showering the goddess with different items like ghee, honey, coconut water, sandal, turmeric, milk, kumkum, rose water, etc. That's a very special puja, done only once in the afternoon of Pongala day. The other deities in the temple are Vinayaka or Ganapati, Shiva, Navagrahas, serpents, Hanuman, Shasta, Shanmukha, Krishna and Radha. And the idol of the Anjaneya, I think, is taller than any other idol in Midsummer. The very large idol of Vinayaka. People come to the temple, they offer small bundles of coins, gold bangles, then even counseling is their portion. Childless person come here and pray for children, and the soil of the temple is believed to have divine powers, and this soil is taken to the house. Especially the soil is believed to have healing powers for cows and four-legged animals. Soil is taken to the houses. The soil is, many people come to the temple to collect this soil. That is another thing. And another factor is, see, during the Pongala day or the first Friday days, we are distributing some holy water, which is a mixture of herbal medicines. It is pujas are done to this water, and it is freely distributed among the devotees. There is purification of blood, the cure for allergy, stomach problems. Here again, there is an attempt to mix materialism and spirituality. The body and the mind. The body and the mind. So these are dual factors of our personality. Both have to be perfected if you want to reach the person. So spirituality mixing is there with the material concepts and holy water. And then Dr. Anandabose also detailed the Kartika's ampam or the pillar. See, the pillar is tied with plankton leaves, clothes. It is lighted. The pillar of evil is burnt. The pillar of evil is burning, and the flames of goodness and divinity is spreading. This is symbolic of the conquest of goodness over badness, just like the Deepavali. Then thousands of people stand witness to the ritual, and it is a belief. There is a belief that in the olden times immortal, one day this pillar got self-lighted. Nobody lighted it, it started burning. Such a belief also is related to the Kartika pillar. And as you of course know, light and flames are a basic structure of Hindu Puja. In the Vedas, when the chief priest enters the sanctum sanctorum and lights the flame, the Veda is telling this is more powerful than the light of the sun, more powerful than the light of the stars, more powerful than the light of the moon. It is the light of lights. It is the light of lights. So what we want in our mind for perfection is the touch or the patting or the cradling of the divine light. That is what we need. And all the spiritual activities are humble attempts to inject this spark of light into the cell of your mind. And after the Pongala, you have the cultural meeting, and I have to especially mention for a number of years, Dr. Ananda Bose had been blessed by the goddess to light the Kartika pillar. And I may cut short the time so the temple has also a charitable trust which is conducting a lot of charitable activities. We have 2 temples in Bangalore and Wayanad. Every year for the last 12 years we have been coming to Delhi for the Pongala, and again I had the honor and the fortune to have talks in Delhi also. Free food, clothes, books to children, pension, all these things are done for the temple. So let me conclude. See, one of the myths, the goddess at 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 is the power supreme. She is purity unmeasured, love unequaled, and kindness never unkindled. With an endearing expression behind those blue radiant eyes, she seems to utter, "Yes, come to me, I shall save you. I shall revive you. Let us fall upon the lotus feet of the goddess. Let the tiny spark within us merge with the utmost potency in the serene and blessed. Let us murmur, yes, I realize I am you, but nothing but you. Tattva-masi." Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramesh Nambudri, for giving us the spiritual, the values and the rituals, as well as your explanation about the hunters thing. But one thing I would like to highlight, which is very important he has mentioned, is that in this temple, there is no restriction of any caste, creed or religion. And he has mentioned how the hunter, which he says according to him is the symbolic of human mind. He also mentioned that because the shell, when he reached there and when he's broken the shell is of ignorance. That according to Dr. Ramesh, the ignorance is the worst thing according to him, and he says that once you break the ignorance around you, you will definitely get the light, spiritual light. And that's what the hunter has done, and that's why the Pongala is celebrating. He mentioned that he is conducting on the first Friday of every month the prayer and he is performing the prayer on the first Friday of every month. And he says there is the devotees who are coming there is a social cause also, and the social cause is that they are taking the pledge there for not touching any intoxicating material. That is also a social message which this temple is giving. And he also mentioned about the earthen pot, how these women are cooking. He says that earthen pot is nothing but a human body, which represents the human body. And once you cook the things there, definitely there will be a fragrance and this thing. That's what the women are praying, that they will to the goddess, that please give our body in such a way that we will be emitting good fragrance of good deeds. So it's a very pious thing which is doing during the Pongala. And he has also mentioned that the soil of the place is so divine that people are taking that soil to their home because they feel that this is a healing soil, and they are also giving from the temple the holy water, which is a mixture of healing medicines. So basically they are making spiritual and the materialistic thing, so a person can be healed. And he has also mentioned that there is a Kartik pillar, and that's Kartik pillar where as Dr. Bose has already mentioned, there is a flowers and those things, offerings which were given in the 1 year were wrapped, and were lighted. And I would like to inform all the viewers, and although Dr. Ramesh has also mentioned, Dr. C.V. Anand Bose is lighting that the Kartik pillar for many years now. So we are very privileged that we have two persons who are so much associated with this temple. One is Dr. Ramesh, who is performing the prayer every Friday, the first Friday of the month, and Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, who is lighting that Kartik pillar at the end of the program and on the Pongala day, which is also a very spiritual thing. So definitely our viewers have I must say we are lucky to have two divine people in one way that you are representing. Thank you very much, Dr. Ramesh, for giving your very I must say your sermons, and it's something which the viewers or the people of India, or even I say the globally, should know the importance of our festivals, because it's not that we are just going to a festival just to enjoy. There are so many things, so many histories is there, and we must understand those things. Thank you very much, Dr. Ramesh. Now I would like to invite my next panelist guest, and she is Dr. Indra. Dr. Indra is the former professor of chemistry at 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 Kerala. She is PhD in polymer chemistry with a special research in Bretagne Sud University, France. She has published articles in journals. She actively participates in the spiritual activities of the temple. Welcome, Dr. Indra, on our show. Dr. Indra, you have heard what Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS, as well as what Dr. Ramesh Nambudri has mentioned. And both has given their own version about the Pongala festival. But because we know that the Pongala is the festival for women, and you being a woman, and you are associated with so many spiritual activities of the temple, definitely we would like to know from you the Pongala, the festival of women. Dr. Indra, please.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 is a very significant spiritual center, attracting lakhs of devotees. The rituals performed here have their own rarity. They add new definitions to the concept of spirituality and pilgrimage. One among the dominant difference of the ritual here compared to many other temples is the Nari Puja. Nari, as we know, is a term for a woman, and Puja means worship. India always had a novel and dignified concept about the role of woman in society. We have a tradition where our forefathers accepted and acknowledged the dignity of women. That is why it is said, Yatra Naryastu Pujyande Ramande Tatra Devada. It means, wherever woman is worshipped, gods get pleased. Vyasa in Bhagavata termed woman as 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒, which means woman is equal and noble as a cow. 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 is a divine cow which gives you whatever good things we ask. The woman in a house is totally keen in looking after our requirements and in offering whatever you seek. Lord Shiva, in the evening, before starting his phenomenal dancing or Tandava, seats his wife Parvati in a special throne. He thereby fingers that a housewife is a focal point in the life of a householder. It is said that the spiritual discussions in the assembly of Janaka were attended even by pregnant women. Special announcements were made at the time, women are coming, give way for them. Our acharyas had portrayed the goddess as an embodiment of knowledge, power, and prosperity, and the like. या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विद्यारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः. Nari Puja in the 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 temple is a conglomeration of all these respectful considerations towards women. On a special day of Nari Puja, every year women are seated upon a distinguished chair. The chief priest washes their feet. Then a puja is done imagining that they are symbols of the goddess. Thousands of women flock to the temple on that day to participate in the Nari Puja. They stand in long queues. It may be the rarest of rare functions that the main priest of a big temple offers respect and admits the dignity inherent in each woman. Philosophically, many things happen here. The priest allows himself to forget his so-called superiority, melts down to a lower level, and declares that he is only as equal as any other devotee in front of the goddess. Secondly, he crosses the body consciousness and allows himself to realize that there is a spark of divinity in each individual. As we all know, body is in the main bottleneck in our progress towards spirituality. The five senses or indriyas connects with the body, establish a link with our intelligence and pushes us into karma or action. If we enable ourselves to control our body and evaporates our egoism, our spiritual search reaches new horizons. How many are the ladies who sit for the Nari Puja, unable to believe that they are happily destined for their ritual in front of the goddess? In this sense, Nari Puja is a difference. It is a message to society. It is an awakening of our inner spirit. Thousands of women from different strata of society, irrespective of caste and creed, take part in this ritual. It is something exclusive to 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔. It rings bells of hope to the relevance of woman in the present day society, where she is sometimes treated with disrespect, violence, and dishonor. History of the temple also takes us to the traditional Devi Mahatmya, where the greatness of the goddess is given in detail. The story goes that two asuras, or men of demonic nature, observed rigorous penance for years. Lord Brahma appeared in front of them. As per the request, Brahma offered a blessing that they will be killed only by a female power not born of this earth. Naturally, having won supernatural powers, the demons Shumba and Nishumba started harming this earth as well as heaven. They conquered the gods and turned them slaves. They also had a boon that thousands of other demons will be born from each drop of their blood. During the terrible battle that followed between them and the gods, they came out victorious, and the gods had to run away to the forest. Saint Narada felt pity for them. He requested Lord Brahma to save them. The Lord replies that ups and downs are the rules of life. He also adds that the demons can be defeated only by the gods. Thus, we find Goddess Parvati appearing before them. An indefinable spark emanates from the goddess, and she is born to annihilate the demons. In the terrible battle that followed, the demons and their armies are wiped out. Devas get back their kingdom and power. They bow down in front of the goddess, realizing that she is the ultimate power behind the animate and inanimate objects of the world. Charanagata Deenartha Paritrana Parayane Sarvasyarthi Hare Devi, Narayani Namostude. O Goddess, who is the most fitting power to depend upon for all those who are forsaken, desolate, and empty. As an answer to the prayer of gods, the goddess replies, Itham yada yada badha jagadoshya bhavishyadi tada tada vadiryaham karishyam harisamshayam. O Devas, whenever a misfortune comes to you or to anyone whatsoever, call me. I will be at your rescue. The goddess in the 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 is believed to be an incarnation of this powerful divinity. No wonder lakhs of people flow towards this abode of refuge for peace, solace, prosperity, and love. Hence, 𝐂𝐂𝐑𝐔 has another title, Vilippurathamma, meaning the one who answers the moment you call her. The ocean of humanity engulfing the temple premises and surroundings is a surprising proof of this divinity. Thousands are the women who reach the temple even before 4 days of Pongala. They arrive with earthen pots, rice, fruits, etc. They cook the rice and submit it to the goddess. There will be scorching heat of the sun in the noon, but they know that such things are only of the body. Their minds are with Devi. Chanting of the mantras fill the air. Trumpets blow with echoing sounds. Curls of smoke from the innumerable hearts go in circles to touch the sky. Yes, it is the scene of wonders and a healing for the mind. Overflowing the temple ground, pilgrims sit themselves on both sides of the road, cooking rice in earthen pots. The queue will normally extend to 25 to 30 kilometers, branching on different parts of the village. 30 or 35 priests will sprinkle holy water and flowers upon the pots as a sign of acceptance. Miniature idol of the goddess will be taken in pallak or chivida, and it covers all the places where the Pongala is given. The main important fasting in the temple is the 12 November or 12.
You have muted yourself, Dr. Indra. Dr. Indra, Dr. Indra, Dr. Indra, can you hear me? Excuse me. Sorry, Dr. Indra. Dr. Indra, can you hear me? You have muted yourself. Dr. Indra, I think she is not hearing us. She has muted herself. I will try if I will be able to unmute her, although it's not. Dr. Indra, you have muted yourself. Yes, please, go ahead. You have muted yourself. That's the problem. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Each search is an attempt at self-realization. 𝐂𝐂𝐑𝐔 is also trying in its own way to have its share in improving human mind and society. Let the goddess shower her kindness upon this. Let her add definitions to our life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Indra, for giving the details of how the women are coming there with full devotion. They are sitting for 4 days, and even the scorching heat, cooking, because they feel that this heat is only for the body, not for the soul, and their soul is for the goddess, and that is the devotion which the women are showing. And she has explained how the spirituality flows, and according to her, this is something. This festival is showing the supremacy, or that they are not less. The women are not less. She even mentioned that how the chief priest of the temple sit down and even clean the feet of the lady, or those who is the main lady on the day, as well as this shows that the ego of everyone, a man, goes down, and they pray that because the goddess is supreme, and she has given all the details, and it is very I must say very heartening to listen from a professor of chemistry that she is talking and giving in such a detail. But the reality is that when whosoever is going there, as the Dr. Indra says, they feel eternal peace by visiting this temple. Thank you very much, Dr. Indra, for giving such a descriptive thing. I am sure our viewers, and especially the women who are watching this show, can understand that whatsoever thing happening, and Dr. Indra mentioned that thing, that nowadays whatsoever is happening in the society can be overcome if they realize their own power. And if they realize their own power and they come forward, they can kill any demons, even who are present in the society. Thank you very much, Dr. Indra, for giving very, very strong message through the Pongala, which is very much required today. Now I would like to ask the question. My first question goes to Dr. Bose. Dr. Bose, are you there? Yes. Dr. Bose, you have explained about the significance of Pongala. You have mentioned that it is a festival of women. But, and history also you have mentioned. We would like to know from you two things. One is the main thing is the festival, this is as you have mentioned, and it is the festival for the women. In what way the women benefited spiritually with this festival, and what are the implications of this festival? Dr. Bose, please.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. In fact, the answers to your questions have already been alluded to by Dr. Ramesh and Professor Dr. Indra. They have given me a lead to answer your questions. I thank them for that. Dr. Ramesh spoke about samarpanam, total supplication. He also mentioned that the 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 temple does not place any restrictions on anybody to enter that. Hindus, Christians, Muslims, people of any faith are accepted there. Putting these two things together, I would like to answer your question about how it benefits women. How it benefits women, because women get an occasion for total supplication, samarpana. And since this temple accepts people of all faith, I would like to draw an example from Christianity to buttress what Dr. Ramesh has pointed out about samarpana. There is a poem, The Wreck of the Doy's Land, by a Jesuit priest, Gerard Manley Hopkins. He was a Jesuit priest, but now regarded as one of the top English poets. There is a ship which sets sail from the Bremen port in Germany. On the way out in the outer sea, the ship is caught in tempest. The ship is about to sink. Those who have seen the film Titanic will know what is the type of pell-mell which is there in a sinking ship. But people go up and down the same ship thinking that they can save themselves against the forces of nature. When there is total confusion, total anxiety, total depression and kind of madness everywhere, 5 nuns in the ship, they are going unruffled and serene, comforting those in distress, unmindful of the consequences of the shipwreck on their lives. How could they do this? Ask the poet. The answer is total supplication to God. When there is total supplication to God, there is a liberation. You liberate yourself from within. That's the time when you realize Tatvamasi, Varaham Brahmasmi. Pongala is that trigger which enables the women for total supplication to God. Goddess, up there, regain their inner strength. That is a result of this. And secondly, my second lead has come from Professor Dr. Indra. She spoke about Kamadhenu. I would now to speak about Nandini. Nandini is the sacred cow, the mother cow. Nandini was in the possession of Lord Vasishtha. One day, King Vishwamitra, he was Vishwamitra, at the same time he was King Kaushik. King 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 came to the forest with his soldiers. They were all hungry. He went to King Vasishtha, the sage Vasishtha. Vasishtha invited him for lunch. Then the king asked him, I have battalions of soldiers with me. Can you feed them? The sage said, yes. In this hermitage, how can you feed an entire army? He said, no issue. I have my sacred cow, Nandini, with me. She will produce enough food for any army. It was done. Entire army was fed because of food prepared by Nandini. The king wanted to possess Nandini. He asked Vasishtha to give Nandini as a gift. And Vasishtha said, no, sorry, I can't part with it. The royal rage grew. He tried to forcibly take away Nandini. Then you see the women's strength, the inner strength within the woman. Nandini lifted her head and her tail come to the floor. Battalions and battalions of soldiers come from there, armed with deadly weapon. And from the excreta comes all kinds of diseases, biological warfare. Nandini defeated, vanquished the army of King 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 or Lord Vishwamitra. That is inner strength. That is inner strength which women are enabled to realize when they come and supplicate before the goddess. That is inner strength which they realize. When the 𝐂𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 is born, the old is dead, the new is born. Tennyson says old order changes, yielding place to the new. A new lease of life is given. That is a message which comes. And that is precisely the message which the Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita teaches us. Bhagavad Gita tells us, Bhagavad Gita, whatever is born will die. Whatever dies will be reborn. Yes, that is a philosophy. Yadasya dhruva mutyam, dhruvam janma mradasyada, tasmat adariharyarthi, nattam shojitam arkasi. Why? Dr. Ramesh also said here about the soul and its immortality. Yes, the soul is such that nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dagati pavagaha, nachainam kledayandiyapo, nasoshriyadi maritaha. Indestructible soul. These are the major issues of spirituality which the ordinary women imbibe in themselves when they come and totally supplicate themselves to the goddess through Pongala and also witness the lighting of the 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 𝐍𝐄𝐖𝐒 where the evil is consumed in fire, the good is coming out. I think the ancient philosophy of tamasoma jyotirgamaya, or what Cardinal Newman said and what Gandhiji always used to echo, lead kindly light. These are all the great messages which emanate from the Pongala. These are the messages which realize the women folk to find and experience their inner strength. These are the messages which the goddess gives out. Never yield. Arise, awake, and yield not till you reach your goal. That is a message of comfort and courage and determination and strength, which Pongala instills into the minds of our mothers and sisters who come and supplicate themselves during the Pongala days. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bose, for giving the details and about the spiritualism, about the women. Now my question goes to Dr. Ramesh. Dr. Ramesh, not only as an organizer, but also as a pujari, you are conducting this very big, huge, I must say, the festival. My first question is how seamless manner you are organizing such a big event, and what are the implications of this, spiritual implications of this festival? Dr. Ramesh, please.
See, the first part of your question is material side. What I mean is, as you said, it's a Herculean job to arrange such a function. It takes almost 3 months minimum preparation. You have to contact all the government departments. You have to conduct the collectors meeting at least for 4 districts. And myself and the 3 people will be traveling through the state to conduct the press conference, and we will be spreading this message to every press meet. So the material side is really a difficult one, but the blessing is that a large number of people all around, including youngsters, I must emphasize even the young people, they are with us, and they are in charge of all this material management of this. For example, see the 𝐂𝐀𝐑𝐔 pillar, it needs nearly 100 to 150 persons to lift this pillar and put it under the soil. And it's as easy as plucking a flower or cutting a cake. So they do it. So very easily they do it without any inhibition. So again, the coordination and all the departments, including the police department, have to be conducted, and especially since it is a women's festival, we have to be doubly on our guard. Women police officers also are coming, but till date for the Pongala festival, of course with the blessings of the goddess, no unhealthy incident or hazard has been. Not even, we are playing with fire in fact. Lakhs of people are just lighting the fire. And no problem with the fire, not even a minor injury or burning has come in. So the first part is, we are doing all this in the material level only because of the support of thousands of believers and even non-believers. They do it they treat it as a social function, that sense of social mixing in message and even in that is why we are actually doing it in such a large scale. But more important than the material side of it, what I believe, see, you can do something abnormal or extraordinary only if you have a divine path. I remember the word of Simeon. He always used to say, you cannot pluck a flower without seeing the stars. Beautiful sentence. You cannot pluck a flower without seeing the stars. That means even a very simple exercise as plucking a flower, if you want to do it, there's a pre-design and blueprint of a great engineer. So there should be a divine decision, a divine support behind all this. That is why in the Devi Mahatma it is said, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu, Metha Rupena Samsthita Namastasya Namastasya Namastasya. Oh goddess, you who are working as a Metha. See, intelligence has dual sides. One is raw intelligence. If you want to learn 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, you can learn it on the material side. But if you want to have some intelligence behind that, the IQ of your brain must be high. So that is called meta or supra intelligence. And our acharyas, our forefathers, whatever be the religion, not confining to one religion only, whatever be the religion, all the concepts and the ideas given to us by the acharyas, they are products of uncompromising meditation and search. So, any spiritual activity or material activity whatsoever, if it wants to be in a full circle, there should be a material backing behind. For example, even though I myself have received a number of divine revealings from you. For example, I won't lengthen. See, we have been conducting a Gayatri Yajna. During this Gayatri, is the king of mantras. And you have to be very careful because no mistakes. If you utter 24,000 times Gayatri mantra, it is said that they will fall. And Madan Mohan Malaviya, before starting the Benares Hindu University, he uttered Gayatri 24,000 and got the spiritual power because during those times, starting university was a very difficult thing. It now be very easy. During the time, he uttered Gayatri 24,000 before starting the university. So what I mean is, during this Gayatri, now we chanted for 40,000 times. And every evening, I used to do the spiritual discourse for 1.5 hours. And the concluding day, I just looked at the goddess and said, oh goddess, we have been doing chanting the Gayatri. We do not know whether a mistake has happened. Please do not backfire. I said. And then a flash of thought came to my mind. If you are pleased, give me a symbol. For example, serpent is a very symbol in the temple. So let a serpent come in front of me and show that I have. So people will say this is superstition, but this is self-explanation. So I thought, how foolish I'm thinking. Why should I think that a serpent should come? And in the evening, in the last day, when I'm talking, the servant there said, Tirumani, don't go there. Upon that bottle, a serpent is remaining. See, I was just happily shocked. And the goddess just whispered in my ear, you people want him for everything you want. Still, you cannot believe me. You want a serpent to throw that answer. So this is the complexity of belief, and this makes you. So the first question is the material item. Second is this clicks because of the inexpressible blessings of the great gods in the sanctum.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ramesh. Now my question goes to Dr. Indra. Dr. Indra, Pongala is the festival of women. Now everybody came to know, and we also are enlightened. But my question to you is, in this materialistic world, now we are in 21st century, when so many disruptions are there in the life of everyone, why so many women are coming in such a large number, and what are their expectations, spiritual or materialistic, from this Pongala? Dr. Indra, please. Please unmute. You are on mute. Please unmute. Yes, please go ahead. Yes, doctor, please go ahead. No, you have muted again. You have muted again. Please unmute. Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, it is okay. Go ahead. It's okay. Now you can speak. Dr. Indra, please speak. Yes, go ahead. Please speak, Dr. Indra. You are already. You can speak now, Dr. Indra. We can hear you. Dr. Indra, can you hear me? No. No, again you have muted. Again you have muted. I think some technical problem. Please unmute yourself, Dr. Indra. Dr. Indra, you have muted. No, you have muted, Dr. Indra. No. Please unmute. No. Okay. Okay. I think now there's some technical hitch, so no problem. But thank you very much. So viewers, you have seen the spiritual power of this festival, and the best part of this festival is it's dedicated to the women, and the women are coming in large numbers and spending time there and offering the prasad or whatsoever they are cooking. They themselves are cooking and offering to goddess. Now this shows the empowerment of women, and with all such type of disruption in our life, materialistic life, they all are coming. 20 kilometers queue is not an easy thing, but still nowadays it is happening even now, and on 19th this Pongala is going to take place, and we are so lucky to hear from the persons who are deeply involved with this Pongala festival, and it's very, very enlightening, and I must say it has bestowed the divine thing, I am sure, to all of us, and our endeavor is to enlighten you all with all types of festivals which are taking place in different parts of India, such type of festival with any caste, creed, religion, we are going to enlighten, because we believe that media should also play an important role to convey their messages to the public at large. And I think today's program is very, very enlightening. Today's program has given a new thing, dimension, that how a small act or something which has taken place by a hunter has become a craze or a cult today because of the social empowerment, social message. It is not only the something which is only, you can say, where people are blindly devoting. No, but this is giving a very, very special message socially. And I'm sure with this Pongala, one should take those who are not even praying there, or those who are not physically present there, if even on that day they can think and they will give the respect, and especially the men folk should start giving respect to the men then Pongala, the goddess, will definitely bestow the blessings to everyone. Thank you very much. And today's program has been live telecasted by V4 News, Global TV, V4 Stream, Malnadu TV India, News Gaon se, Samvad Sarokar News, Bharat Post News, Caru News, as well as it was shown live on Facebook and YouTube. And our endeavor to bring to you everyday new topic in media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30. And tomorrow our topic is Children are Blessings. And our panelists are Dr. Rajiv Anand, Senior Psychiatrist and Marriage Counselor, Mumbai, Miss Kirti Raj Manunda, Head HR, Leading FinTech Company, New Delhi, Miss Vibha Jain, Chartered Accountant, Mumbai, Miss Shilpa Gautam Barmeja, NLP Trainer, Transformational Coach, Pranic Healer, Certified Meditation Instructor and Enthusiastic Mother from New Delhi. So please tune in tomorrow for media conference with Lal Goel at 10:30 am. Thank you very much, Dr. C.V. Anand Bose, IAS. Thank you very much, Dr. Ramesh Nambudri, and thank you very much, Dr. Indra, for enlightening us and bestowing us the blessings of Goddess Durga. Thank you all the viewers for watching.